taught the Red Devils. So Man United have probably had one of the most interesting summers out of all the Premier League clubs so far, making a few interesting signings, a few interesting departures as well.
Matt's a United fan. Seb's a United fan. And obviously me and Travis are Arsenal fans.
Exactly.
So you mentioned Memphis and you mentioned Schneiderlin. They're probably the two signings that are getting me most excited out of all of them because I feel like Schweinsteiger, he's just going to come in with his experience. He's going to slot right in and he's just going to do his thing. Um, I feel like Memphis and Schneiderlin they've got a lot of prospect about them, and I always like to see United buying young, talented players with a lot of prospect. That's traditionally that's what United have done in the past, and it's worked.
I think the
But
good
yeah,
thing with Schneiderlin is the fact that he's got the Premier League experience. He's got the 3 years under his belt. So he's going to come in, knows the league. Um, there's no need to adapt physically. He just knows the tempo of the game. It just should be seamless, really and truly. I'd like to think.
Yeah, definitely. He's been at Southampton for a while, so he's pretty much used to the British game. He joined Southampton in 2008, so that's like 7 years at Southampton. He's come through the leagues. I think that's a very good signing for Manchester United.
It's funny though, like I was having this discussion with Seb like the other day, and I was saying that it's mad how United are like to oppose what Matt was saying. I was saying it's funny how United are now becoming one of those teams who are just buying stars. Like Man United have always kind of bought stars, but they mixed it up with like young players as well. So they never just outright bought stars like how we've seen Chelsea post 2004, 2004 or Man City in the last like 3-4 years. But they mixed it up. And now it seems like even Memphis Depay, like obviously I could see that's a Fergie type signing, but the Schweinsteigers and the Schneiderlins and they're talking about they tried to get Ramos and these flashy signings. Seems like it's a completely different shift in Man United's approach to transfers, isn't it?
this is my worry because like I've been hearing talks today of us looking at signing Pedro, and like it doesn't correlate with how United used to be. I mean, I know you could say we got lucky with the class of '92, the way they all came through together at one time, and we built a
Mm.
squad around that spine of players. And you could say that might not happen again. Like it was, the chances of all those players coming through at that same time was, it's a massive thing. So I suppose, the game's changing now. You've got to spend the money to get the young players in. But
Yeah,
I
you do.
I still like to see United bringing in young, talented players, even if they're from the continent. It fits in with. I agree with what you say about Depay being a Fergie type signing, definitely.
Seb, what do you think about the Memphis Depay signing? Because I haven't heard your opinion on that one.
Depay, I think it's exciting. The shades of the Ronaldo signing with that. Obviously, Depay is had a bit more exposure on the main stage. I mean, he played in the World Cup, had a good performance there.
Mm.
Played a full season in the Eredivisie, was top scorer. I think 21 goals he scored in the league, 29 goals
Yeah, yeah,
overall
yeah.
last season. Um, he's only 21 years old.
Yeah, he's young. I'm not too sure how old he is, but he is very young.
Yes, I think probably won't come in straight away, play every single game of the season, but if you can get a good 25 games out of him, 25 games, I think he'll put in a good run.
I've got a question though. Like the whole preserving the youth and bringing the youth players through. Um, why do people see that as not just for the factor of like you have English players naturally and homegrown talent and all that sort of stuff and abiding by the laws of uh, like the FA and stuff, but like why is it such a big thing to be able to bring in like young players, or why do people find it uncomfortable when their team is suddenly buying stars and that? Is it losing the identity, or is it you're scared that the talent's not going to be as it's not good, they're not going to work straight away the same way like Di Maria's kind of been like a bit iffy because he's come from Spain and hasn't settled in properly? Is that what it is, or is it literally a homegrown thing, like the pride, like oh yeah he's British, plays for United? Like, what is it? Because even I find it like, I don't know. Obviously, Arsenal still have a lot of homegrown talent, but if we were to suddenly start buying everyone from abroad, all these stars and that, it'd be a bit weird. It would take away from the British aspect of the club.
For
I
me,
don't
it's
think
about
it's. Yeah, go on.
for me, it's about like when you bring in players like Schweinsteiger, you know they ain't got many more years left in them. I like to see a player coming in who's young, who's exciting, who's got prospects, and you know that they're potentially going to be with the club for a very long time and flourish at the club. And I like to see that when a player comes in relatively inexperienced and he learns at the club, grows into a great player, and then even if he does move on in say 5-6 years time, you know you can you've got that pride. You can say that your club developed that player. You know, would Ronaldo have turned into the player that he is now if it wasn't for United's development system and being managed by Fergie? Who knows? But it's like a pride thing. I like to see United grow players from a young age.
Yeah, touching on that, I feel Man United have lost a lot of identity over the last 12, 18 months. And I think the Welbeck departure was, yeah, that was one of the like last straws. It's very different looking at Man United now. Like,
Especially the way Van Gaal just let him go. It's so easy. Like,
And
he's not given
Raphael
enough.
as well. Like
Well,
it looks like he's on the way out as well.
yeah, Raphael's on his way out.
He's gone. Yeah, I think it's overplayed though. The thing about the whole youth system at United. I mean, we've got James Wilson, who came in 2 seasons ago. He's played quite a bit in pre-season. We've got Tyler Blackett, played quite a few games at the start of last season.
True.
Paddy McNair, Adam Januzaj, Andres Pereira. I mean, they've all had their time in pre-season this season, all got new contracts recently. So I think Van Gaal is looking to maybe ease them into the next season.
Is Lingard still around as well? Yeah.
Lingard's still about, yeah, man.
I heard he's
So
going on loan. I heard he's going out on loan, but he is still about at Man United.
Because I remember, I think was it the start of last season? It must have been. I don't think it was the season before. When he got played in like the first 2 games on the wing and he was just tearing defenders up.
Yeah, I remember that. That
then
was
he caught
And then
into the.
he went off injured and then
Yeah.
we didn't see much of him again. But
him again. He went out on loan, didn't he?
that's it, yeah. He showed some good football in those games. It was exciting.
I was gonna say, yeah. So speaking about departures, Matt, what do you think about the Di Maria departure?
Oh, you know what? I keep hearing all kinds of opinions and rumours as to why he's gone, and I don't think we'll ever know. We'll never really know the truth because the media will always have different stories floating about. But I just think he was unsettled playing in the Premier League. He's come from the continent, playing in Spain, and I feel like he didn't settle into his game as much as he would have wanted to, and that's why he's going back to Europe.
Seb, what do you think? Are you happy with the departure? Are you annoyed? How do you feel about it?
I'm not happy. I mean, first thing, he came into the number 7 shirt. A lot of history behind that. I'm sure Ronaldo would have told him about the history behind number 7. So to go after one season for like a bit of a cop-out, but at the same time, had a lot of personal issues, family home broken into even, language barriers. Van Gaal kept playing him in different positions, played up front, which isn't really his best place in the team. He's better coming from deep, attacking further ahead. So I think it's a mixture of things really that didn't allow him to settle to the Premier League.
what do you think?
Perry, I'm thinking as an Arsenal fan, you'll probably echo my opinions on this. What do you think about Di Maria and them letting him go?
I see it as you got a world-class player there, and you'd want to hold on to that player like as much as you possibly can. You need to be giving players like Di Maria are proven, and it's not a fact of like him being like, he's unproven or he is like debatable. It's like he's a proven footballer, like a world-class footballer. You've seen him perform at like the highest level on the biggest stages and stuff. I just think it's one of those things where he would have needed a little bit more time to settle in.
Yeah.
Also, like going to what Seb said, it's true. Like Van Gaal was playing him out of position, and we obviously know that he kind of. This is a recurring theme that I see happening quite often nowadays. Like all of these like guys who can play on the wing, a lot of the world class ones are actually better in the middle. And this is what I'm finding with Di Maria. It seems to be a similar sort of thing happening with Ozil. Wenger constantly playing them on the wing. Obviously, there's only one person who can play that role just behind the striker and stuff. And yeah, I think like Di Maria was just kind of out of place. I think in time he would have come good, man. Like this is Di Maria we're talking about. Like everyone knows Di Maria has his stripes. You know what I'm saying? So
I think Van Gaal just needed to show him. He's like a plant. Just show him some love and appreciation. Just like you show plants, give plants water and sunlight. Just show him love, appreciation. And really, if I was Van Gaal, I'd have put him out on that left or right wing and just stuck him there all season and just said, damage fullbacks. You're the best. Just damage them. All and just I think he would have come good. I think it's a very bad departure. I think
yeah, you can't be getting players like that and letting them go like that easy. It's like
yeah.
I don't like to see clubs wasting money like that as well. You know, we brought him in, and we're selling him for a figure that is going to end up being considerably less than what we bought him in for. And
But to be fair, a lot of that 50 million difference, like some of it would have been add-ons as well. So it's not going to be directly.
yeah, appearance
of money
fees
would
and
have
goals and all that assists. Yeah. What are you thinking about the Victor Valdez situation?
It's a bit of a funny one for me, man. Like
Van Gaal seemed to handle that. Van Gaal seemed to handle that very unprofessionally, from what I'm hearing. Like it was literally like, if you don't want to like play or whatever in the reserves, then you can just go. Like that's what I'm hearing from reports, isn't it? Like that's what it sounded like to me. Obviously,
That's what you said, yeah. But he did play under 21 games. He played like 3-4 matches. All in photos of the under 21 players, apparently giving like big motivating speeches and that. So it's a bit of a weird statement for me. It's come out of nowhere.
Like what happened? What happened? What's going on? Why did that? What went wrong? Like
I have no idea. He must have been out the club, man, because he brought in Sergio Romero.
So you reckon he's just making excuses because he doesn't think that Valdez is that good?
Maybe so. It's just weird, man, because he played for him at Barcelona. They got on well there. Obviously, brought him in for a reason. So to suddenly change and make that statement, which is against what's actually happened, it just doesn't make any sense. To me.
I find that a bit odd. That I don't know. I find that one a bit strange. I feel like there's loads of like things we don't know about that happened with that whole situation there that we're just not going to find out. It seems too random to me.
One thing I did want to talk about is the striker situation at Man United, because it seems with Falcao going,
a bit thin on the ground.
Yeah, definitely thin on the ground. And I'm seeing a lot of Man United fans getting excited about the new signings, and rightly so. But it's like, it looks very thin up top to me. Like Rooney is going to guarantee you goals. But then what else is there? It seems...
Hernandez and James Wilson.
Yeah, but is Hernandez staying? I've seen a lot of reports of him heading out, which wouldn't make sense to me. I really rate Hernandez, actually. So, what do you think, Matt?
I was thinking about this earlier, actually. Like, and I don't know, like the game's changing in the way that the teams are utilising midfielders a lot more. Like we've kind of gone into this age of the attacking midfielder, and you know, like you look at the signings this year. Like we're bringing in, well, not just this year, but in previous seasons. You know, our midfield roster's massive. Like we've got a lot of options in midfield, and I think we've got a lot of attacking options in midfield. But then, you know, to play that system where you're relying on your attacking midfielders, you've got to have attacking midfielders that are going to guarantee you goals. And I still feel like we need that player up front that's just, you know, dangerous and is a threat to defenders and is going to get you goals.
That's a good question, then. What do you think about Falcao leaving then? There's another one.
You know what?
Another one we haven't touched on.
The fact he's moved to Chelsea and is in the same league is always a massive risk. Like that's what happened with Van Persie when he went from Arsenal to United.
Yeah, we know all about that one.
Ended up banging loads of goals. Yeah, you don't want to offload a player to a club in the same league just because he's not performing, and then all of a sudden he turns it on at another club. It's a risk.
I think he will as well. I think he might.
I think he's going to bang goals at Chelsea, man. I think he's going to bang goals.
I don't think he is. I think think he's never really come back from his injury.
Yeah.
I've seen footage of him before his injury, and like
I think Mourinho's gonna resurrect this guy. You know, like
he's lethal.
like a zombie. Like I think he's just gonna.
I think he might as well. What do you think, Seb? Falcao.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Seb.
Falcao, it didn't work at United for him. I mean, he looked a bit too lightweight. He's getting bullied by defenders. From what I'm seeing though, Mourinho's brought him on Gary Cahill and John Terry say so from the game against United. They were saying
Wow.
Falcao's movement was still there, gave us the run around this and that. So
Wow, man.
that's
Do
what
you,
it seems
do you
to
think
be.
United need to go out and buy a striker, or do you think it's all right? Because it's an interesting point that Matt made. It's like the days of the 4-5-1 now, where you probably could get through a season with 3 strikers. So,
Yeah, from Barca doing the false 9, they didn't even play with a striker half the time, did they?
I'm happy to go with Rooney. Wilson's there as well. Got to give him a chance. And an interesting one is Depay. He's played Depay just off Rooney in pre-season.
Keep Hernandez.
Keep Hernandez. He was to play games, doesn't he? He was to play as a main striker. He's not going to get that at United, I don't think.
I reckon Van Gaal's plan is to try. His plan A is to get a striker, a world-class striker, before the transfer window ends. Obviously, we were hearing talks about Lewandowski and all that over the last month. But the issue with that Arsenal are suffering with as well is that there is an actual shortage. Like, I don't even want to say this because I want Wenger just to go out and buy one, but there is a shortage of world-class strikers. Like, there's a shortage of strikers. Like, if you're Van Gaal, you've got to be looking at it like this. I've got Rooney up top, yeah? That's my plan B. Who's better than Rooney who I can bring in? Like, who I can actually afford to bring in and whose club wants to sell? And it's very limited. Once you put it like that, you go down to like maybe like what, 3 names, 2 names? Like, you just go down and this is the issue that Arsenal are like struggling with at the same time, isn't it? Like this striker situation up top. I think so. I think Van Gaal's plan B after the plan A will be just to keep Rooney. I think Rooney will do a job up there at least till January.
Yeah.
And he's not exactly like injured a massive amount of the season. You know, you can rely on him to stay fit for like the majority of the season. So I think the plan B is, which is probably still a decent plan B, is Rooney up top, as long as the rest of the team is sorted.
So we come to the main problem, which I look at Man United and see, and that is the defence.
I'm glad you brought this up because it worries me that our most experienced defender is, what's his name, Johnny Evans. Like, it just worries me. Like any big team that is going for title glory or challenge or even competing in a Champions League, you know, you've got to have that centre back that is a threat, and people go out on the pitch and they're scared to play against this guy. Johnny Evans is not that guy.
So, Seb and Matt, as Man United fans, what is your first team defence? What's that for? What is the back for?
It looks like he's going to go with
Luke Shaw for a start.
Luke Shaw on the left, Darmian on the right, Phil Jones right centre back, and Daley Blind as the left centre back, which for me is the worry. He's saying he wants like a ball playing centre back, which is all good and well, but Daley Blind has not got the physicality to play in the Premier League as a centre back, unless we're going to dominate the ball. But when you're playing against them Stoke Cities, he's not the answer. Yeah. He's going to get bullied aerially for me.
I'm interested because like Van Gaal's previous teams, yeah, when he was in like Germany and stuff, like were his teams really like attacking? Because he seems to be taking this defensive situation quite lightly. Like I don't see him making that many moves in the defensive department. Like were his old teams like really attacking? Like did they kind of lack defensive like quality? Were they just more like go for it? Because I can't really see why he's so like lax on this defensive issue. What I'm seeing is attacking players being brought in. We know that Man United's issue last season was defence.
Well, to be fair, he has brought in Darmian, and I'm pretty sure didn't he buy like 3 left backs last summer?
Rojo, Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Blind if you want to count him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his playing style, he likes to hold on to the ball. We saw that last season, but it was a bit like there was no penetration with it, which was the main problem. I don't know if Blind playing a centre-back's going to fix that.
Has he been playing there in pre-season?
Yeah, he's played every game pre-season centre-back, Jones and Smalling.
Oh.
Sorry, Jones and
Blind,
yeah, man. Yeah, I think what we're missing is like a strong, dominating centre-back, like a Vidic type. It's
That's
going
what
to
I'm
be a
saying. I
warrior,
know
like
if Fergie was
dominating.
there,
Completely agree with that.
I know if Fergie was there and Vidic and Ferdinand had left, they're the two players he's replacing instantly, and they're going to be big and they're going to be physical and they're going to be some of the best centre backs in Europe. So
You need that fierce centre back that ain't gonna let anyone through.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Like, I feel like I don't know. Maybe Van Gaal feels like the way he's lining up his team and setting up his team at United. Obviously he's different to Fergie, but maybe he feels like he doesn't need to go that route. Maybe he feels like he can use the athletic centre backs and do it that
maybe
way.
maybe Tyler Blackett and McNair have proved themselves to be adequate cover. Maybe he doesn't want to bring in any more because he's got them to.
I think in a
Right
season's
now,
time, Blackett might be the answer, but right now, um, just lacking a bit of know-how. But he's got the physicality, he's got the pace, good at the ball at his feet. So I think in the future, I mean, that's the sort of centre back Van Gaal's looking for. But it's not right now, I don't think. Not right now.
I knew this would be interesting. Man United probably the most interesting team to talk about at the moment because there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of potential heroes. But
and
lastly,
like you said, the identity's just changed completely.
yeah, definitely is very different to Fergie's Man United. But lastly, I wanted to ask you guys what you think United are going to do this season. I'm going to start with Perry this time,
Gee.
Arsenal fan. What do you
Um,
think? What do you think for United this season?
I think United will reach top four. I think realistically,
Give us a number.
I think United will be pushing third in it. So yeah, I'd say they're pushing third. I'd say,
Third or fourth?
oh, haha, wait. Uh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say third. I'm gonna say United will come third this year.
I'm going to say right now, Manchester United, I think, are going to finish fourth. Go on, Matt. Matt, what do you think? Where are United going
I
to finish
also
the
think
season?
fourth, and the only reason I'm going to say that is because I think that Chelsea, Manchester City, and Arsenal, three teams that have seemed to have just got everything in place a bit more than United.
Seb, what do
I
you
can
think?
see that's
I'm gonna
that's
buck
what
the trend. I'm gonna buck the trend, man. I think second. I think we can get as high as second.
Ooh,
That little period we had last season, we beat Man City, Tottenham, and whoever else it was. If we can replicate that form consistently, then we'll challenge. That's what I'm saying.
it's confidence. I like that. Well, guys, it's been good talking. It's been good talking. It's definitely been good talking. We covered, I think, pretty much everything.
Oh, but there's one more. There's one more thing though. We need to keep holding on to De Gea because if De Gea goes, we're in real trouble.
Next season he's off, man.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Next season,
They-
like freebie.
Yeah.
we need to do everything we can to keep him because
He got you lot fourth last season.
Innit, man? Otherwise, Spurs would have finished above you.
Ah.
Or you lot better hope you qualify. You lot better hope you qualify for the Champions League, man.
I know
Definitely.
you lot got sponsors and everything riding on it,
that's
man.
a-
Like Van Gaal was sweating, bro.
That's another big. Who are you playing?
Don't
Oh,
even know yet. I can see us drawing Fenerbahce and getting licked down by Van Persie.
Imagine
Ultimate
that.
stress.
But he's not a loyal player, you know. He will bang against you.
And celebrate
this guy
as
is
well.
a snake. This guy is a serpent, mate.